Three ways to get more clients. Welcome to Ben's Business Podcast, episode number 93. Today, I'm going to teach you some tricks for startup business owners, but if you have a running business and you need more clients, then you'll find out three ways that I know of that I use every day in my business to get more clients when I need them. So really, also on top of them getting more clients, how to make more money in the business, how to get more sales from existing clients as well. So I'm just going to share this onto Ben's Business Book Club, which is a Facebook community group of avid readers and entrepreneurs, a bit of a community. It's a free group to join. So search for Ben's Business Book Club on Facebook to join that group, and you can be a part of it as well. We all share and recommend books to each other based on personal development and business, and beyond that, non-fiction books. So I'm also just going to jump on Instagram live here, get as much attention as possible. And that is one of the first tips, is get attention. So the first way that I get more clients is, and what I want to teach to business owners who are listening, is the first thing you need to do is commit to mastering the art of selling and marketing. So master the art of selling and marketing. And that is one of the first things a new business owner, or a business owner who's maybe not new, but hasn't really mastered the art of selling and marketing. What I mean by mastering is, so it's second nature. Like when you get in the car and you go from one place to another place, the whole hour you can't even remember where you're actually driving. That's when you're doing sales properly and marketing properly and thinking those things through, so it's second nature. That's when you've mastered something. That's when you've really made it second nature and really embedded it. So it's I think it's an elementary skill that we have to master to be a good business owner and a good money maker. Because if we can't sit in a cafe and someone comes up to us and asks us what we do, if we don't start to make sales from these situations and get a better ratio than 1 in every 100 person might buy from us, those are opportunities. When someone comes up to you and asks you what you do and you're a business owner, you should start to be making sales from that, from all the information you're learning from sales books and marketing books. So that is what I want to tell you to do in terms of mastering the art of selling and marketing. What action to take from that is to read every book you possibly can, the best books on sales and marketing. Some recommendations that I have are Mastering the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins, Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. But I find a lot of Grant Cardone's stuff in that book. A few of the things come from Mastering the Art of Selling. You can't go wrong with that Tom Hopkins book. It's a really good book. And just so that you have this ability to understand the value of giving up front and building trust. Like one of the ways I build trust is doing this podcast. And I know if I keep giving this content and establishing myself as an expert in marketing and sales and what I'm actually selling as a service and as a product myself, then I'm always giving. And then that way, and sharing as well in meetings, when I meet someone for the first time, I know if I just try to give them value up front, I don't try to sell them, I just ask them what they want, ask lots of questions and find out what it is they really want, and actually help them, and actually just go and help people with that, make videos on that to help people with specific questions that I've been sent directly through direct messages. And by helping lots of people over time, when I eventually go for that ask for a close, make an offer, make a sale, which is something else I'm going to talk about, then it's much more likely to convert into them being my customer, buying from me or purchasing something. So I just want to share that with you. And also Ben's Business Podcast, I've got hundreds of videos and content. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts as well, SoundCloud. So the content's there for you to soak up the information, to learn about sales and marketing. And that's where some places to start. A great book on marketing is Guerrilla Marketing, and the 21 Immutable Laws of Marketing. So Guerrilla Marketing is by J. Conrad Livingston, and that's a really good book. It's it covers every part of marketing, even like it's quite old school. It talks a wee bit about the internet before the internet was as big as it is today, but you get the sort of primary basics of marketing. I think it's good to understand marketing before the internet came, because people go straight to learning about digital marketing. Anyway, moving on. The other tip is once you learn these skills, I really think this should be a big focus if it's not been a focus. And when you have these skills, if you have these skills, be out there as much as you possibly can. So sales don't happen from your living room or from your kitchen or from your office as much as they do when you're out there, out and about, outside of a house, where be in front of the path of potential prospect customers, where be in the path of money, be in the path of traffic, of attention, to be viewed. Like I'm getting a lot of attention here being on Facebook Live, but I think as well as the internet is where it's at, but as well as that, mixing it up, marketing mix, be on camera, be out there on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live, but on top of that, be out there, be in Costa. So I sometimes take my laptop and go to Costa and work there, and that's my desk for the day. And there was a time when I was sitting in front of the door, and this is positioning. I was sitting in front of the door, and it was like my desk for the day. I literally had all my paper out, and I just started working there. And I had it's ended up being, from having no meetings that day to just working on client stuff, I ended up, lots of people recognized me from doing my content, people that I know, and these are prospects and people who I could do business with. So by positioning myself in Costa and working, I meet lots of people, and that's one of the best sales tips, is meeting lots of people every day. So meet lots of people every day. I'll repeat that. Be in Costa. Be a wee bit bullish as well. There was a restaurant opened in my village where I grew up, and I went into the door and gave them a flyer and just said, by the way, I do web design. I ended up getting my web design job from that, and then I ended up doing marketing. So remember, doing things like that you might think it's a useless effort, but sometimes it comes back to you. So giving your business card out and just making that effort to go be a wee bit more forward as well. So you want to attract people by giving lots away like this, but you also want to, I always repeat, be so good they can't ignore you, be so good they come looking for you. So do both sides of that. Be out there, be forward, but also magnetize, bring people towards you and attract people as well. So to attract attractive people, you have to be attractive, and that comes from knowledge and learning and working on yourself. So you have to do both sides. You have to be forward and attractive and bring people towards you. So be on the offense, get out of the defense. So that's what I mean by getting out there. Like, stop budgeting. If you can't afford a coffee, it's because you're not out there in the coffee shop. So by having a coffee and being out there and meeting people, you're going to make a sale, and that's going to pay for 1,000 coffees. So stop holding back because you need to buy your coffee on a credit card. Like, I'm talking to people at the start of their business, and I was there, so I know what it's like. And it's getting rid of that mindset. Be on the offense, and don't save for the rainy day. When we're business owners, we need to follow this rule that Tom Hopkins talks about, the 95-5 rule. 95% of your time at the beginning of a business, or at a time when the business is needing to make more sales and more cash flow, is 95% of your time selling and 5% of your time fixing things, doing the admin and all the other things. I try and outsource that other 5% and just focus my time on the 95%. So the 95-5 rule, 95% of your time selling, making sales, following up, and creating new opportunities for yourself. So really being out there and pushing, doing your marketing, doing your sales, and then the other 5% tidying it all up, because there will be a bit of chaos and mess after that, and making sure you're doing your customer service, or you have people in place for that. So you have to manage the business once you've got the sales coming in. But we're talking about getting sales and doing marketing, getting sales, closing the sales, and adding new customers, adding new income to your business. And then number 3 is make more offers more often. Make more offers more often. One thing I see a big mistake I've made before in my past, I've seen other people make, startup business owners especially, is they get that idea of giving lots of content, and people go too overboard on that. It's remembering what Gary Vaynerchuk talked about: jab, 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 right hook, give, ask. So don't forget the ask. And I always stress that. Don't forget to ask. Don't forget to close. Always be closing, ABC. So what I mean by making offers is just remember, like, I'm putting lots of content out, but every so often you'll see me mention Ben's Business Book Club. And then there's a new business I've been launching called the Sunrise Book Club, which is actually a paid version of what I'm doing. It's more of a structure, more even more value than the free Ben's Business Book Club. So you have to mention these things often. You have to put it into people's subconscious mind. You have to suggest that they buy things more often, because they're not always doing that for themselves. They might like the idea, but you have to suggest, okay, if you like that idea, then go and buy it, and actually ask people to do things. And that's called seeding. So you have to do that often. Just seed that plant that seed in their mind, and and it'll go into their subconscious mind, then it'll go to their unconscious, they'll forget about it. But it's putting that into the front of their mind often, and having that in there. Eventually they make up their own mind. They think it's their own idea, but it was actually you seeding over time. And selling, secretly selling, some people don't recognize, they don't realize that it was actually your suggestion that they're following. They think it's their idea, which is a great way to sell. And it's for introverts or for people who don't want to be so forward, it's a great way to sell, because you're just making little suggestions and remembering to plug yourself and make offers every so often in between all the content. So ask, give, or content, valuable content, sell, or ask, make an offer. And just monetize what you've already got as well, because this is, instead of always trying to add on more followers, getting more engagement, getting more likes, remember to comment and reply and give value and respond to your direct messages, to respond to your emails, and monetize and utilize what you've already got. Probably a lot of emails you've not responded to. There's maybe quotes you've not sent. There's maybe people you've not responded to, where you could start to build a relationship, which might lead to a prospect becoming a customer in the future. And it's just about that idea of monetizing what you already have. So making use of what you already have and the relationships you already have, and their relationships, because they all have relationships and potential referrals. So remember to build the referrals and get more customers through your existing network. And don't forget to upsell as well. If you've got other products that a customer hasn't bought yet, make sure you mention that to them, seeding, and making sure you make those offers every so often. Because if you forget to offer, they don't know what you can offer, what value you can bring to them in exchange for a payment. So people hold back. They have this unconscious inability to receive and ask. So recognize that and go through that anyway, because if you don't make an offer, you won't make a sale, because people won't know what you're selling. They won't know how to go ahead. You have to suggest it to them more often. So there's a huge imbalance between people serving too much and people selling. So aim to sell more, because you're more likely underselling yourself. You're not making enough offers. So I hope you found this valuable. Let me know if you watched this on the live, and put in #replay if you watch the replay. Thanks for everyone who joined me here on Instagram. I hope you all found this valuable. See you next week.